Hi, Josh. This is a really interesting image, and I think you're right. I think there's just one light source, one key light. I agree that it's diffused. However, I would argue that it's so high above the subject that it's actually kind of in this middling ground where it's starting to become relatively small. A small light source relative to the size of the subject because it's so far away that we're seeing sort of a combination of hard and soft shadows. Like the shadows closer to the light source are a little bit softer, you know, because the light source is relatively larger as the subject is closer to the light source. But as we get further down in the subject and the subject is further away from the light source, we see harder edge shadows. Like if you look at the pants down here, you know, these are pretty hard edge shadows. So it's a kind of interesting scenario. So I would agree it's diffused. I think because of the shape of the illumination, I think it's actually an umbrella. I think our artist here our photographer is shooting through an umbrella at a rather high height. It's probably a very powerful light at a high height. Either that or it's a really long shutter speed and this guy is holding still for a while. But I think it's probably a strobe. It's a powerful light and it's pretty high. He's shooting through an umbrella. And so that's why we have sort of the softer shadow up here, but on harder shadows as we get down towards the bottom. I mean, if you look at the edge of that shadow on his foot, it's full on hard. Whereas here, you know, it's a little bit gradiated. So that's my take on it. I think that you would have some success with the softbox, but you'd get a lot closer to this look if you just shot straight through an umbrella. What else was I going to say about this? I think that was about it. You know, I think I more or less agree otherwise. Yeah, and just one light source. He probably has a lot of flagging going on so that there's no extra light because like you said, we don't see any extra light getting bounced up into the shadows. There's no passive fill. There's no active fill. Just the one key light. And then, you know, so when you cite an image, what you need to do is actually tell us the author and then tell us where you pulled it from, the website, and then give us the date that you pulled it on. That would be proper or closer to proper MLA format. And then also, you know, of course, you know, according to our announcements, every research answer requires a citation from the text in the lecture. Just because I didn't remind you in bold letters right underneath the question doesn't mean it's not still a requirement. The only time it's not a requirement is when it specifically says that it isn't. And in assignment number 2 this week, you really don't need any citations, but you'll see it in the write-up that you don't need any citations. But for this, you did. But a lot of people forgot that just because I didn't remind them. Anyways, but I mostly agree with how you would recreate this, and I think that would be a really fun shoot to recreate. I think that would be just a lot of fun. I'd enjoy that. Okay, thanks.